Hello and welcome, lads, ladettes, boys and girls, friends. Yeah, here we are again. Diablo? No. Dark Elf, Domination, Focus, and yeah, versus Slaanesh. And we'll see how we go. Now, for those of you who've been following along at home, we did try a build similar to this against Khorne, and it went pretty poorly. So I decided to have a think, do some modifications to the build. I basically just tried to bring just more infantry and try to get some shades in, because I figured there might be some armor and maybe this would be a good way to deal with it. And my gosh, this was an absolute grind fest. So let's have a look. Let's see it. And you can see my, just in terms of the first front build, just wow, what a spam of units. And I had a feeling that Morathi's Pit of Shades wouldn't be able to clear the chaff as quickly as I'd like, so I hope the Sisters of Slaughter were up to the task. I hoped the Corsairs would do well. Really wanted to just bring in a ton of infantry, so let's have a look. See how we did. Sigvald, of course, a very good duelist. Morathi's going to be airbound, though, so I really don't have to worry about him. So it's really just about, can I clear infantry out faster than he can summon it? That's the question. And we're going to find out. This map, Silver Spire, I know it well from watching videos of other people play, but I have never played on it myself, so I wasn't quite sure what to think and how to go about it. And there's some mistakes I made, definitely, for sure, which we'll be highlighting throughout the battle. Okay, so here we go. First of all, pretty simple, just going to push up, right? So we're going to do that. My opponent, as we can see, just an absolute ton of infantry. Like, there's no way I'm going to be out-capturing the center point. I have to kind of try to bait him into big blobbed infantry fights if I'm going to clear it even close to effectively. I know Sisters of Slaughter don't have a ton of great armor piercing, but I figure they can clear out the Marauders pretty handily. I feel like bringing this many Sisters of Slaughter as a front line, after this battle, after the Khorne battle, I feel like, yeah, this is a liability. I should have more armor at the front, more durability, so either just more spears or just, you know, maybe one, maybe two Sisters of Slaughter rather than three. So he brings up these Marauder Horsemen, and I feel like I'm going to be able to screen them out reasonably well with my Black Arc Corsairs. I do move back my Sisters of Slaughter just because I don't want to cop any spears, but in hindsight I should have just been pushing forward aggressively, taking a better position up on point 2. You can see he sent a unit of spears down to capture his third point, and I have done the same. I've also summoned in some shades, and in hindsight I should have waited and summoned out the Dark Riders first to screen, because he's going to get a nice little charge here. And while I do have the Dark Riders to screen them, you know, I do take a little bit of damage. We get into a bit of an extended fight. Now, one thing I did not expect is the Dark Riders actually do really well against these Marauder Horsemen. I thought they would do a lot worse than they did. Of course, they are being supported by shades, but yeah. So anyway, here we come. We're going to start poking with some skirmish with the Black Arc Corsairs. I'm now moving forward. My Sisters of Slaughter, like I said, should have done that a lot sooner. I was kind of just hesitating, trying to focus on what's going on around here. Trying to position my spears so that they can get up into the ground as quickly as possible, because it's obvious I'm not going to be taking this first. I really want to, but it ain't going to happen. Looks like I almost take it. Oh, okay, it must have been a bug there, because it was green. I was like, there's no way. There's no way that was me taking it. Okay, so, and then he's just going to be summoning so much cavalry from the side. And this is one of the things I did not consider about this map, is the way it's structured is like, yes, you can grind fight here on the second point as much as you like. Here come the Sisters of Slaughter with the big charge. They're against any and all comers. Also got some spears here that are going to be blocking this out. Now he's casting, actually, let me just actually slow down rather than pause, because he does have a Slaanesh caster, but I don't know what spells he has. He's got Rod of Torment, which is what he's using on me, Strider, Devastating Flanker, Mark of Slaanesh, Soul Feeder. Okay, it looks like it's pretty much just targeted against hitting Morathi. It's a very Morathi-focused build my opponent has brought, which is fine. And the Marauder Horsemen are going to also be poking at Morathi in the air as well, which is annoying. He's got more than enough infantry to overcome my... well, that Pit of Shades really did take out a lot of my Sisters of Slaughter. But I just wanted to nuke a Chaos Warrior, again, not having the bigger armor contingency, but a Pit of Shades here or even over here would have been much more cost effective. So again, just a few mistakes like that. I do go ahead and put a Soul Stealer down just because I do see that I am going to have trouble as I'm getting poked by these horsemen, as I'm getting poked by the Chaos Sorcerer. So over here, he's screening me with a single unit of Marauders, and I've got a few infantry coming through. Horsemen. I also haven't moved up my Spearmen yet, which I should be doing. I'm trying to just like use my Corsairs in combat where possible, but mostly trying to get their shots off. And again, this is just me trying to grind him down a little bit more so that I can take the center and hold it. And I just don't know that there ever is a point in this battle where I feel like I have the infantry superiority. There will come a few moments, but we'll see. Anyway, so he's just summoning out Marauder Horseman after Marauder Horseman. I'm trying to bring in some Shades just to shoot my way through, because it's clear that I don't really have... Like, the infantry, it's going to take so long for them to come from the back line. I'm like, let's just get the Shades forward. That's going to have a more immediate impact. I commit the Black Ark Corsairs just to try to kill some bodies. And again, we need some more magic going on. I just didn't have a ton. I think casting the Soul Stealer was a mistake. I needed to save this Winds of Magic for just more Pits of Shade in order to cut through this. But in hindsight as well, maybe Morathi wasn't the choice in terms of Lord. So I do see there's a nice little Pit of Shades here, and sure, it does the work. But you know, is it going to do enough? So I'm now getting onto the point from behind. I'm starting to surround them. I've got Shades. I got these Spearmen. I'm moving these Spears forward as well. Shades shooting into combat, trying to clear out some of these Marauders and the Chaos Warriors. You can see he's got this little thin line of Chaos Warriors here moving forward, which I should be able to get my Corsairs forwards for that. And yeah, we got the Modus Mastery, or whatever it's called, Modus Prowess. And yeah, that's fine, but you know, it's really not going to have an impact. We are just too deep in the grind fight right now. He's bringing in just so much more Forsaken. Here's some Spears, here's some more Marauder Horsemen. And you know, I'm only just barely starting to crack into the center. So it's a really unfortunate situation. Here comes more Marauders this way. I'm just not able to kill them fast enough. Just flooding the center point. But you can see the center location is starting to tick onto us, but he's already 1,000 points ahead. In terms of value, he was way ahead of me the whole time. And that's just because he's bringing so many cost-effective, cheap units. And then things like this with the Marauder Horsemen get these cheeky charges. And like, I just can't, there's just too many units, I can't cover it all. I am trying to kill this Sorcerer as well, just for value. I did bring the Doombolt item, but in hindsight it's not that great. I would have cut it so that I can take more infantry in the future. So, yeah, but here come the Black Ark Corsairs. I've got these Spears in reserve. They're in the forests, and that makes even me forget about them for a moment. But I do have, I'm starting to get units onto the center. But tick, tick, tick away on this, you know, my opponent gets further and further ahead in tickets. I'm quite happy to let my Shades fight here because they're not terrible in combat, and even though they're probably going to lose, like, at least they'll get some value. I've got these little units like Sister Slaughter just lurking over here. I should be unsummoning them. I'm also starting to clear out his infantry spam from this side, you know, and trying to get onto the point. So another Pit of Shades. Yeah, this one was ill-advised. I shouldn't have cast that one, but I just wanted to clear out some of this infantry as quickly as possible, just so that I could just secure this this weight advantage. I bring the Spears out from the forests to cover the Hellstriders that have been summoned here. More Corsairs moving forwards. And I also see that he's got two units that are just idle down here, and I send Spears. In hindsight, I should have sent Dark Riders and sent the Spears forward. But here we go. At this point, even if I capture the center, it's going to be real close in terms of victory, so I need to capture it and hold it for the rest of the game. So that's what's important. So I just summoned some Dark Riders. I just need to clear up these little small bits of infantry around the place, which are just causing a huge hassle. I'm chewing through these Forsaken. I'm chewing through this center mass. I've got the Witch Elves up here, just trying to hold this. You know, I finally lose Morathi. I just send her in just to get a few little bits of extra value, as the Winds of Magic were basically all drained. And you know, the Sorcerer is still casting this bolt action. And here comes some devoted Marauders of Slaanesh with Hell Scourges. But yeah, we've got the capture weight. We're about to capture it, and you can see I'm clearing out these little infantry bits, but you know, he's managed to get one onto the point, threatening a capture. I did also consider trying to get a unit down here to capture point 3, as he's just moving his spears away from it. But he's just got so much shit and cavalry spewing forth from this point almost constantly that it's very difficult for me to find an opportunity to sneak through. I do move some units off the point here, but I do try to make sure I stay on because, again, we need to just make sure we hold this. I've only got a unit of spears. Sigvald's doing his thing. These Hellstriders, you know, they're almost dead, but they won't last. My Witch Elves are completely gone. He's unsummoning some... I think it was me unsummoning some stuff there. Some just brutally beat up Shades. I summoned some Sisters to Slaughter, hoping to clear some up. I'm just spewing forth the Dread Spears as much as I can. And, yeah, you can see my opponent... you know, he's summoning some Devoted Marauders of Slaanesh. He's got 2 more Marauders coming in, so that's 3 units. There's just a lot here, a lot happening. I've got the cavalry moving around. I'm going to try to get the cavalry on this unit to stop it from hitting. I actually also consider sending one down here, but then I'm like, oh, okay, I need to actually just continue the grind fight, you know, try to get these Marauders off the point. These Black Hawk Corsairs are slowly getting whittled down. Got more spears coming in. Here come more cavalry. You know, the Sorcerer's standing back here chilling. Got some Dark Riders that are very injured. And the Sisters of Slaughter are coming, but they have so far to run. That it's just, yeah, it's really difficult. There's a part of me that feels like my opponent's spawns are closer than mine, but I don't think that's actually true. It's just a trick of the light. So yeah, here we go, moving the spears on, and it's already back in his favor. And even if I'd held it, you know, the victory would have been potentially, you know, not even possible at that point, because it took me so long to claim the center point. So we're just going to fast forward here a little bit. It's fairly stock standard. He sends infantry, I send infantry. You know, he's just got more of it. Here come the Sisters of Slaughter. And yeah, sure, like, and they get caught on Sigvald. I did mean to get them charged into this mess, but, you know, try to spread them out, get them fighting the Devoted Marauders of Slaanesh, but, you know, it's just unfortunate. Sigvald's, I think, got a few debuff abilities himself, and, you know, they're just going to be not very cost-effective at all. The Dread Spears come in, try to help get on the cavalry, but it's too little too late. They had control for far too long, and I lost. So, that went about as well as I expected. My opponent brought, luckily for me, exactly the sort of build I wanted to test this stuff on, and I learned a lot. So, Marathi, we can see, definitely got her value in terms of damage dealt, but I felt like I didn't use her efficiently as I could have. I also think perhaps getting a sorcerer to cast Pit of Shades and having a lord that's a bit more anti-infantry could be a good option, just to clear through some of that mess. Yeah, also Black Hawk Corsairs, they did okay. I didn't love them. I think perhaps they're better in matchups where, you know, I guess maybe I'm thinking they're better in land battles than they are in Domination, because in Domination mode, they take far too long to pay for themselves, I guess. Yeah, like I said, Sisters of Slaughter, I brought way too many. I think having 1 is not terrible, but having 3, it's a big investment, and it's very easy for my opponent to shut down. If he'd brought Pit of Shades himself, if he'd brought other magic, it just wouldn't have been close. So, yeah, I think maybe switching out the Witch Elves for Corsairs, or just Bleak Swords, going as wide as I can. The Shades, value-wise, also was fairly, like, you know, okay, they paid for themselves, but, well, almost paid for themselves, but even then, like, my opponent had a lot of cavalry, a lot of fast-moving stuff. It was very hard to cover them, so I think in future I wouldn't even bring Shades. I'd just bring more of these Dark Riders, because they actually did super well. All of the ones I summoned, except for this one, paid for themselves, and I think the only reason why this one didn't is because I summoned him at the end. Even the Witch Elves, not great, so yeah, there's a lot of things. I just go much more basic infantry spam, try to match him, because I think Elves, just stat for stat, are better than Marauders. And as far as Chaos Warriors are concerned, maybe I'd consider bringing some armor-piercing infantry, because in the build that this person went, he didn't bring any way to punish me if I'd brought, say, Haganeth Executioners or something like that. But I think just to be safer, you know, just to be a little careful, I would probably bring Corsairs instead, because you can see they also did pretty well across the board. So yeah, just more Corsairs, More Dread Spears and Bleak Swords, far less of these sort of interesting mid-tier units like Shades, Witch Elves, and Sisters of Slaughter. And yeah, hopefully we'll get the victory next time. Thanks for watching. Have a good day.